time you and me have a real heart-to-heart, because there are 32 million YouTube channels with a projected increase of 23% by the end of 2021. That means we're gonna most likely be starting New Year's with over 40 million YouTube channels, which will definitely increase the 500 hours of content that is uploaded every single minute. Why am I telling you all this? Because if you are thinking of starting a YouTube channel and you're one of those people like me who are always like, I'll start on Monday, or even worse, I'll start in the new year, then that means it's gonna be even harder for you to grow, as you're gonna be competing with way more channels than there are at this very moment. And sure, starting YouTube in 2005 would have probably worked out better for everyone, but we don't have that luxury to go back in time. What we do have is someone, me, who started 3.5 years ago, completely wishing that she would have done something completely different. So today, I'm gonna go over the 5 things that I would do right now if I were starting a brand new lifestyle vlogging channel today. All right, and if you're wondering, no, I'm not gonna be talking about getting a niche or anything else. These are gonna be tips that you most likely haven't heard before, because it's a lot of things that YouTubers do not realize we need to do until we get started. So the very first thing I would do if I were starting a YouTube channel today is map out my goals. And I'm not just talking about the silver play button or how many subscribers I want to reach by the end of my first month. I'm talking about the big goals. Because one of the reasons YouTubers don't take off the first year is because they literally do not plan to take off the first year. So the reason I say to focus on your end goal is because when I started my motherhood channel 3.5 years ago, I literally had no plans for anything on that channel. I just started uploading what everyone else in my niche was uploading, because their videos would get lots of views, they would get lots of subscribers, so I figured that means that I would also get lots of views and I would also get lots of subscribers. Wrong. Each YouTuber has a different end goal, and their content strategy aligns with what that end goal is. So for example, if you are someone who is literally just looking to get famous, nothing wrong with that, you're gonna have to focus on videos that get lots of views, which means you're gonna probably focus on a lot of trending topics. Now, on the other hand, if you're a YouTuber who's using your YouTube channel to bring awareness to maybe your websites or something you sell, then you're gonna create content that doesn't necessarily get a ton of views, but speaks to a specific target audience. This way they wanna buy your product. Now, I'm not saying you can't make trending content if you're a person that's trying to sell your products, or that you can't talk to a specific target audience if you're looking to get famous. But what I'm saying is you really want to see what is the main purpose of why I'm on my YouTube channel, and what is my content strategy going to look like to help me get there. And the more clear you are on why you're starting a YouTube channel, the better your results are going to be, because you know exactly what you're going to have to do, and you're going to feel less likely to compare yourself to someone else in your niche, because you know, hey, my content strategy doesn't really align with theirs because we have different goals, although we're the exact same niche. Now, of course, knowing your why is important, because without it, you won't be able to lay out the what and the how. Now, once you do know your why, you're gonna wanna move on to your content pillar, which is definitely something I wish I would have done differently. And I actually had a second chance to do this, and I did it wrong again. Now, if you have zero clue of what I'm talking about when I say content pillars, just know that pillars are topics within your niche that you make videos on. So I didn't have pillars the very first time I started my YouTube channel, and that's because I had no idea what I was doing. I just kind of jumped on for fun at first, and it took me a while to realize that I wanted to make this a business. So when I found my pillars, that's when I really started to grow my YouTube channel. Now, when I did this the second time on navigating YouTube, the thing I did wrong was I niched down too much with my content pillars. So something you definitely want to do is basically a little bit of in between of what I did the first time. So you want to make sure you have some type of pillars, but that they're not too specific or too niche. This way, there's going to be data that shows exactly what your audience is interested in, which is going to help you grow, because once you see, okay, my audience is really interested in pillar number A, not so much in pillar number C, then I can go ahead and get rid of C and just focus solely on A. So for example, on this channel, my very first few months, I really only talked about YouTube SEO, which included a lot about getting views, gaining subscribers, and ranking in search. But it really was like the same thing, and I started to quickly feel as if I was just repeating myself, and I knew my audience also felt that, because yes, I was ranking, but I wasn't getting a ton of views, and that's because they've heard it already. It wasn't until I started bringing in more lifestyle vlog tips, monetization information, and video ideas that my channel really started to take off. And that's because I stayed within the niche of starting and growing a lifestyle vlogging channel, but I had enough variety to really see what pillars my audience was more interested in and what they wanted to learn more about. This way I could double down on those topics and grow even faster. Okay, the third thing I would do if I was starting a YouTube channel right now is make sure that I studied my niche a lot better. There are so many free YouTube videos on how to do things such as editing, filming, ranking and search, and even how to be confident on camera. There's also free masterclasses that go a bit more in depth on how to really grow on YouTube, such as my YouTube Passion to Profit masterclass that shows everything from the proper mindset to have as an influencer, finding your niche and your target audience, ranking and search, and of course landing brand deals as a small content creator. If you're interested, links down in the description box below. But I felt when I started, I was basically blindly looking at my analytics, not understanding anything, so I was just staring at numbers, and I didn't know how to put those numbers into action. And then, as I was a smaller YouTuber, and this is what we all did, I just started blaming the algorithm, and it wasn't until I really started to take those master classes, watching content centered around how YouTube actually works, and of course investing into mentors, that I really started to see growth on my channel. Now, if we're being completely honest, this is also something that I don't know if I would have went back 3.5 years if I would have started investing as fast as I would have now. And it's because I didn't know if I really wanted to make this a full-time thing at first. But I would definitely say if you are serious about YouTube being a full-time job for you, wanting to be a full-time influencer, invest as soon as you can because it's definitely worth it and you'll grow a lot faster because there's accountability, mentorship, and you're learning from someone who has gone through the mistakes and will tell you, don't do that, been there, tried that, do this. And basically we lay out the roadmap for you on the right way to do things so you don't make as many mistakes, which means you're bound to grow a lot faster. Now, of course, something else that goes hand in hand with mentorships is networking. And I've done a lot more networking the second time around, but I still feel like I'm not doing it nearly enough. Not only can it help you grow your channel through collaborations, as well as grow your confidence just by having support from people who understand and who get it and kind of have like a cheerleading squad, but I also think about that thing where you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. And it is honestly so true. I don't know if you guys know this, but I struggle a lot from postpartum anxiety, depression, general anxiety disorder, and my mental health is easily affected. So if I hang out with people who may be smaller or newer YouTubers or new in the space and they're always complaining, they're always blaming the algorithm, they're doing sub for sub, guess what's going to happen to you, even if you don't have mental health issues? Because you're constantly hearing that and it just rubs off on you, and then you're probably in a bad mood, and then you're like, I don't want to film today, I'm not going to do this, it's not worth it, why am I doing this? But if you're networking with creators who like to make plans, who like to strive for greatness, who like to work towards goals, who are celebrating wins no matter how big or small they are, guess what's going to happen to you? You're just going to have a better outlook on the whole journey, a better outlook on reaching your goals, and you're most likely going to reach your goals a lot faster because you're around people who are also reaching those goals, who are also pushing you to do better. So definitely make sure when you are networking, don't just network with anyone. Pick and choose the creators in your circle well, and network with people that you can have a give and take relationship with. All right, last thing I would do if I was starting my YouTube channel right now is to invest into the right tools at the right time. Again, when I started, I had zero clue what I was doing, and it took me about 6 months to realize that tools like TubeBuddy even existed. But I was also new, and I just thought I need to buy the most expensive version of TubeBuddy because it means that it works better, right? And it means that if I use this, I will automatically get more views, more subscribers, and grow a lot better. So when that didn't happen, I was like, oh, this doesn't work, I'm just gonna move on. But the truth is, the amount you spend does not help you rank any more or any less. Things like TubeBuddy are just tools, and they help you understand the numbers, such as how often a keyword is searched or how competitive it is. And it'll give you an estimate of this is where you're going to land in search results if you make a really good video. All upgrading does is give you access to more tools such as their SEO Studio, which I love, A/B testing tool, their bulk action tool, among other things. So if you are a newer creator, make sure you start with the TubeBuddy Pro level. I have an affiliate code in the description box below, and it's going to give you a free 30 days so you can get used to it. And then if you use the code RisingStarBuddy when you sign up, you can actually get it for $4.50 a month after your 30 days if you have less than 1,000 subscribers. I also have this video right here that walks you through how to use TubeBuddy's keyword research tool so you can rank higher in search and not blame TubeBuddy if you're not doing a good job. Now, get out there, make some great content, and let's grow together.